What is going on, guys? It is Tony from Lone Paintball. Today we are talking the brand new HK Army Icon tanks.
And why? Because who's the best source for air tanks?
The best source for air tanks would be lonepaintball.com, of course. Before we jump on into it though, don't forget, head on over to pbswagbag.com. Use our code LWP10 to save 10% off your first monthly subscription.
Woo!
So, Mark, we have a very interesting same tank, two different regs we're talking about today. Very interesting though. 36 cubic inches, 4,500 PSI. So you gotta get a full tank fill out of this, but 36 cubic inches. Some of the tanks, smaller tanks on the market, anywhere from 13 CI, up to 80s or 90s or even bigger, depending on what you guys are into and using. But HK Army coming out with the Icon tank, 36 cubic inches. Available in two different regs. You've got your standard reg, and then you have the pro reg. Price differences, you're talking 180 bucks for the Icon tank with the standard reg, and then you're talking 250 bucks for the Icon tank with the pro reg. Big difference there would be obviously standard reg. The output pressure on these bad boys comes stock at 800. Not really supposed to tinker around taking off the bonnet to adjust different pressures. If you are into that, you're going to want to buy the one with the Pro Reg. Very good choice, because not only can you bring this bad boy, from 800 all the way down to 400, it comes stock out of the box at 655 PSI. Pretty good operating pressure for any marker out there. It also includes, there's 3 set screws that sit up at the top of this Pro regulator here. You can unloosen those and kind of adjust the fill nipple and gauge position. So when this tank screws onto your gun, say it lands, depending on what marker you guys are using, nobody wants a fill nipple or gauge digging into their wrist while they're holding the marker. So let's, you want me to grab one off the wall, Mark, or we'll just keep it as it is?
No, let's see one on a gun.
Okay, well, we can do that. We can do that.
Appreciate
it. For sure. I just want to, if people are kind of don't know what I'm talking about, I can show you real quick. So we're going to screw this onto one of our beautiful M3 Pluses, one of our custom ones. And luckily for us, Mark, it lines up perfectly for me. Because normally if you screw a tank on, you would have your gauge or fill nipple, happens all the time, out to the side. When you go and hold the marker, one of these are digging into your hand. So you can adjust the regulator on here, but happens to be, it screws in perfectly up and down. So I like that. And then you can also see as I hold it, like how small of a profile. If you guys are a front player, this tank is going to be for you 100%. You super tiny profile up there. You're playing front Doritos, front snake, something like that. This is the tank for you. Very, very light. So speaking of the weight, should I throw that bad boy on the scale, Mark?
Yeah, I want to see 2 things. One, I want to see that tank next to like a 68, because we just happen to have one there. Yeah. And then I would like to see the weight comparison to know, like, really how much weight am I saving?
So I believe they advertise these tanks weigh 1.5 pounds. We are about to, got my nice little Taylor scale here. We are going to throw it on there and see if that is true. So we don't have a top-down angle. You guys are just going to have to trust me at this point in time. It is, making sure it's not touching anything else, it is 1.8 ounces. So that would be literally 1.5 pounds on the dot. So 1.8, okay, 1.82. So we're talking 1.5 pounds. This tank weighs here at 36 cubic inches, 4,500. Let's talk a full-grown 6845.
That's a man's tank.
Let's tear that out, make sure it's not touching anything else. That is 2.7 ounces. 16 ounces in a pound. So you're talking almost a pound more, a full pound more, correct?
Yes.
I mean, math's hard for us here at Lone Wolf, but so we're talking almost a full pound more for a full-grown 68-4500 tank.
Oh, now put them next to each other though. I need to see that size difference.
Okay. All right. You want me to take baby out of its cradle?
Yes, please.
Okay, baby comes out of the cradle.
Butts on the table.
Okay, baby out of the cradle. Side by side.
Wow.
Yeah, it's small, but it's funny to me because this tank, people are like, what in the world would I need a 36 cubic inch tank for? This is going to be great, like I said earlier, for the front guys. You're a #1 on the snake side, a #1 on the Dorito side. Still, on an air efficient gun, we're talking Dye DLSs, the most recent that comes to mind, super air efficient. These tanks are gonna get you 6 to 7 pods. Yes, a 36 cubic inch, math's hard once again, and we'll show it to you in future videos. We're gonna do efficiency with these. You're still, if you're a front guy shooting 6 to 7 pods, you got a lot of shots on a super, super light tank, and it keeps you a very nice and small profile out there. So absolutely love it. Unique, and when I first heard that HK was coming out with these, I was like, 36 cubic inch, like what are we doing with that? Are we playing a remote line with a mag fed? Also another option.
Pump guns?
Like, right? Yeah, and I was like, okay, and I'm like, wait, a lot of front players are small and quick and fast, and they can utilize a smaller tank, still getting, you know, if your gun's air efficient, 5, 6, 7 pods out of one of these bad boys.
Now, silly question, is that the same reg that comes on the other HK tanks?
No, well, they have options. So HK either has a standard or they have their pro reg. So depending on how much money you guys want to spend and how fancy you want your reg, you've got your 2 different options. So,
but those are the same. Like if I had a pro reg already
yes,
on an AeroLite, this is the same pro reg.
That's exactly right. So other than that, yeah, super lightweight, probably meant for smaller, the 1s and 2s on either side of the field, no matter what you're playing. Even if like you're mag fed, you've got your remote line, you can still get a lot of shots off of one of these smaller tanks.
Why do you have $1 on the table?
Why do I have $1? Yeah, that was another thing. I heard through the grapevine that these tanks are supposed to be the size of a US dollar bill, and we'll take a look.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, about the size of a dollar bill. So you can imagine $1 in your pocket. That's how big this tank is. Obviously not including the regulator, but the size of a dollar bill, pretty darn good. Yeah, and the Pro Reg, obviously if you chose that version, it comes with a little kit and explains to you about how many shims you have to take out to get it to what pressure, all of that good stuff. But okay, just quick video. It's the HK Army Icon Tank, 36 cubic inches, 4,500 PSI, available right now. It is LoneWolfPaintball.com.
Hey, how many shims to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Nobody knows until you find out, Mark.
See ya.